Thanks for tuning into Heavy, where we bring you the latest interviews with local, national and international artists. Today's victim is...
What's up? This is Monica from the Last Martyr, and you can catch us live throughout BigSound Week and then in Melbourne on the 10th of September, where we'll be launching our brand new single, Sugar.
Beautiful. Monica, thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me, Chris.
My pleasure. So there's so much happening with the Last Martyr at the moment. I honestly don't know where to start. So let's talk about your first new music, I guess. So you've recently released the track Sugar, which is anything but sweet. So to tell us about the song.
Yeah, well, it's the track that I have done the most amount of screams on so far. So it was a little bit nerve-wracking to write, and we debuted it when we recently supported Black Veil Brides. And so that was a bit of a road test to see how people were going to respond to a song with 50% screams, because we haven't done that before. But it is really, really fun. So that came out 2 weeks ago now, and I guess we've just been riding the wave and seeing how it's been received ever since.
Yeah, because I remember I was at the Funk Lotto gig when you started screaming, and I was on my way to the bar when you let out your first one, and I dead set spun around. I'm like, who's jumped on stage? And it was just you up there. It was like, where did that come from? Like, you're such a lovely lady, and you were like a demon.
Yeah. Well, I like to surprise people. That's always my favorite thing. As I've grown as an artist, I've become more, my ability to be able to focus not only on what I'm doing on stage, but also read the room has definitely developed. Whereas when I was younger, I'm more so focused on what I'm doing. And you can, of course, like read the vibe and everything, but now I'm trying to be really conscious about, okay, well, what are people liking? What are they not liking? And it's always my favorite moment when I can sense that someone's surprised. And especially if they're like poking their head into the room to check us out and then they stay, that always is, super gratifying for me.
It's actually an interesting point. Like, I've never heard anyone put it quite like that before, but as a vocalist, you do have to read the room, because you're trying to take them on a journey with you. And if you're losing them, you've got to be able to just snap them back quick. So I've never even looked at myself that way before, but...
Yeah, I mean, it can be hard because, as an artist, you're always feeding off the audience's energies. So if you're ever playing shows where the room's not as packed, or you feel like maybe the audience isn't responding, or they're just not responding in the way that you're used to. For example, I feel like the Sunk Lotto audience was a lot different to, say, the Black Veil Brides audience that we'd played to a couple of weeks earlier. And the responses to our music, even though they were enjoying it, it was a little bit different in terms of energy and body language and stuff. So that can be a little bit daunting to get used to, but the feedback was good. And, you liked it. So
I liked it. That's all that matters. And the press release says it's your heaviest track to date. So do you think they're talking in terms of the fact that you're screaming, or but musically it's heavy as hell too?
I think everything. I think the fact that, the vocals that I'm doing musically, this song is somewhat, it's a little simpler in terms of the guitar and bass work compared to a lot of our other songs as well, which often makes things heavier. Drums is a totally different story, but also thematically, it's a pretty heavy song for me. I wrote that about being on antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication last year, and it was a experience that I wasn't expecting to have. In the song, I talk about the fact that my range of emotion was really narrowed being on that medication, and it was so confusing because I'm normally like quite an enthusiastic person, excitable, and it was really weird. I wasn't feeling that same high highs and low lows. So, I mean, it's not like the heaviest song that I've written thematically, but it was definitely one that I felt very vulnerable writing, because I know there's still that stigma around mental health and everything like that, but I definitely thought it was important to share.
And the press release also uses the word eclectic when talking about Sugar, but I think the word schizophrenic would be much better.
I mean, it does go from those, those heavy moments, those kind of low growl moments, to like that juxtaposition of the really sweet, tones that I use, especially in the chorus, those every second line. And it was really interesting because being in the studio, I always try and use my vocal cords like an instrument and try and get as many tones as I can. I mean, we can of course like process it when it comes to the production and stuff, but I don't really have effects pedals that I can like plug straight into my vocal cords. So, one of the things that I like to do as an artist is really explore those different tones. So I think Sugar really has quite a large range in terms of vocals for me, which was very fun.
So like when writing a song like Sugar that jumps tempo so much and chops and changes, like how hard is it to get that balance between too much and not enough?
Well, I think like one of the things that really anchors us, especially in regards to this song, is the choruses. This chorus was really, really hard for me to write because in a lot of ways it's very simple. I don't think I've written a chorus where the lyrics repeat so much, but that was intentional. But with that repeating lyric comes a lot of pressure as well, because as you know, our producer Chris put it, like the lyric has to be iconic if I'm going to say it so many times. So yeah, I think like definitely having a chorus that is simpler in terms of like less lyrics and in terms of the concept, but in some ways doesn't mean it was easy to write. I think that really anchors the song and allows us to have a bit more range in the verses and bridge and stuff like that.
And like as a band, mate, like the Last Martyr or anything but an overnight success, but things really started taking off for you after the release of your EP Purgatory. So why do you think people connected to that body of work so much?
Oh, that's an interesting question. I don't know. I think a lot of it came from our single Hindsight that we released about a year and a half ago now. And a lot of people really connected with that song. And then the subsequent songs that came after that were kind of just really backing that up. We got some really good reviews for Purgatory, and we really took our time in releasing. So yeah, I don't know, but I mean, I'm sure as hell glad that people like it.
Now, I hope you understand this next question because I had difficulty writing it. So you're going to probably have difficulty understanding it. But as an artist, like it'd have to be tempting to sort of rinse and repeat that successful formula that you got with Purgatory. But you guys have come out and smashed it in a whole new direction. So how hard is it to resist that temptation just to recycle what you've done because you know it works?
I don't find it difficult personally, just because I get bored really easily. And, you know, as a band, we haven't been around a very long time. And so I think a lot of the time, what we record is really a snapshot of where the band is at the time. So the four of us, we've been like, the band's had a few iterations, but the four of us have been playing together for 2.5 years now, maybe a little longer. And so I feel like we're still such in our early days of discovering who we are as artists, not only as a group, but also individually. And so, you know, we're trying to, I guess every song, every release is just a snapshot in time of that. And I definitely don't want to be an artist that just rinses and repeats the same formula. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I like songs that are heavy and melodic, and that are also surprising and incorporate maybe some elements of other genres. I think we're all a bit like that. So there's a lot of scope to play with. So yeah, I don't know where we're going to go in the future, but
it's going to be a hell of a ride.
Exactly.
And Last Martyr also made your television debut recently, featuring on the Friday night AFL footy. So tell us about that. You don't look like a footy girl.
Yeah. Oh, well, contrary to popular opinion. No, that doesn't even make sense. But my dad, like ultimately, like my dad thinks I've made it now. That's pretty much, you know, that's pretty much sums that achievement up in a nutshell. We were actually on the AFL when Hindsight was released about a year ago, and that was really cool. So to be on it a second time with a new single, that was really great because, you know, once again, it's like, it's one of those milestones that I think like my parents can actually understand.
Yeah,
It's like, you know, it's on like mainstream TV. It's like it has like a different sort of demographic and I guess like a different sort of meaning behind it. So yeah, he was pretty stoked with that. So he can stop bugging me now to get a real job.
I think
not that he does that, but you know, he was about it.
I think the best thing about that though is just the fact that you guys aren't a mainstream band by any stretch, but you're playing on Channel 7 that is a mainstream station. Like you're taking our music to the masses. It's brilliant.
It's really weird to think about, but we actually got a lot of people commenting on our like on the video on YouTube and actually messaging us on Instagram being like, hey, we found you through, you know, Friday Night Football, so glad we discovered you. So it's interesting because you never know how much attention people are paying to the background song, but it's really cool though because Channel 7 actually put the name of the song and the band in the bottom right hand corner. So yeah, people were actually led back to us, which was really nice.
It is wicked. And you've also, let's say you've got so much doing, you wouldn't know whether you're coming or going, but you're coming up to Brisbane shortly for BigSound, mate. So I believe you've got 2 showcase events for that too. Congratulations.
Thank you, Chris. We may as well move to Brisbane at this point, or at least we've been up there like 6, I don't know, maybe 5 times in the past 6 weeks, and we're going up again in October. But yeah, I mean, BigSound, that has been a huge goal of the band since we started, basically. I know how important that showcase is in, you know, growing your team and progressing and getting exposure and stuff as an artist in Australia. So to actually, we've applied every single year, but I just don't think we were ready. And of course, it didn't happen the last couple of years. So to finally get it now, yeah, like absolutely stoked. We're doing 3 showcases. We've got 2 on the Tuesday, this 6th. We're doing a Destroy Your Line showcase, which is our booking agency during the day. And then overnight, we also have a showcase at the zoo, I believe. And then on the Wednesday, we have a showcase at the Bright Side as well. So, and then we're backing that up with our Sugar launch party here in Melbourne on the 10th of September as well. So we're playing 4 times in 1 week. That's going to be pretty fun.
As long as you get the week right, you're gonna do fine.
I hope so. We're practicing our asses off. Let's put it that way.
Well, good. I was saying here before we started talking mate, like you guys deserve every success you've got. Like I've been there pretty much from the start of your journey working with you at Heavy, mate. And I just want to say I'm proud of where you've come, mate. Like you deserve everything you got coming here.
Thank you so much. It feels like I feel like I've lived like several lifetimes already, but yeah, no, really appreciate that. And yeah, hopefully you can catch us again when we're in Queensland another 42 times this year.
Hey, I might try and come down for BigSound. I've got no license at the moment, which is sort of hinders me a little bit. It's because I live out in the sticks. There's no public transport, no way of getting around and stuff. So, but if there's a will, there's a way. So I might just see you there.
Awesome.
Yeah, all right. Well, thanks for your time tonight, Monica. Always a pleasure speaking with you, mate. And we'll see you around the trap somewhere.
Thank you so much, Chris. Thanks for the support.
No worries. Enjoy the rest of your night, mate.
You too.
Hey, that was good. Well done.
Hell yeah, that was awesome. I'm like, oh crap, I need to memorize the times that we're actually playing at BigSound.
I think you look like you've got a computer screen up there with something on it. So
I do. I was like madly trying to find the post, but yeah, I think I got it right, the right order.
Yeah, I'll have a quick check before I publish it, and if it isn't, I'll try and work some magic for you.
Nah, all good.
Yeah, all right. Well, I'll see if I can get into what dates are you at BigSound?
So yeah, just the Tuesday, Wednesday we're performing.
Is that next week or the week after?
Next week.
Next week. All right. I'll see if I can get in and come down and say hello.
Yeah, I swore it was the week after, and then when I just realized it was next week, I started to stress out a little bit. So
I lose a day here and there. I never lose a whole week. I lose a day here and there, but never a whole week.
Yeah. I don't know. It's too alive. I'm being in this different state every weekend now. It's like it's really awesome, but also like it's very confusing.
You've been doing whatever you're doing. You're doing it well done. So keep it up.
Thank you.
Take care, mate. We'll see you soon.
All right. Chat soon. Bye.
Tell you what I want, but the only comfort and I trust is a drug that gives me confidence in a world that just keeps me. Silence, I can break, I'm guilty because I am like